This is Robert Kraft, and I'm your host on SNN Network. And joining me right now is Rick MacPherson. He is the president and CEO of ME2C Environmental, publicly traded company. The symbol is MEEC on the OTCQB. And you can actually see Rick doing a presentation at our upcoming virtual event, the Planet MicroCap Showcase, happening next week, April 20 through 22. Be sure to register to go and check that out. Rick, great to see you. How you doing?
Oh, just fun, thanks.
Oh, good to hear. Good to hear. Look, it's been a few years. I don't think we look any worse for the wear since the last time we talked, right? I mean, we're making it work.
Speak for yourself.
Good stuff. Well, as I was getting prepared for our interview today, I was thinking back. We last did an interview with you 5 years ago, pretty much 5 years ago. So I'm not going to ask you for all the highlights since then, but would love to hear some highlights, let's say in the last 12 months or so.
Sure. So Robert, it was great to get together back then, 5 years. We were on an upward trajectory at that point. I'm expecting that people would recognize and appreciate our patents for what they were. However, we experienced a different reception from the industry. So we basically had to bring things to a halt back in 2016, 17, repatriate the patent package, and then go back into the market, which we've done in the last year or two, and monetize all of the adoption that took place around us over the last 5 years, to the point of almost half of the utilities using a sorbent-based system in the US are now using our process. So we've got great adoption of the technology, but we've had to go back, repatriate the patent package, and let people know that they need to take a license or buy from us in order to continue using that process. That's the biggest change, the biggest amount of activity over the last year and a half. And that's underway right now, and we're having some great success with it.
Absolutely. And for those who may have missed our interview back then, clearly it's a different company than it was at that time. So can you give that brief overview on exactly what ME2C is up to right now?
Sure. So our core business remains the mercury capture business. However, over the last few years, while we were repatriating the patents and having the legal team delve into how to monetize all of the adoption, we took our sorbent technology experience and expertise and looked at the market in general, the energy market in general, and came upon three basic other areas of endeavor that we thought our expertise would be able to make a difference. And so given that, we've been going very diligently on developing both coal ash pond remediation, and also along with that, rare earth element extraction from those coal ash elements. We've also moved into the methane capture business and are diligently working on that. So we've got some new initiatives underway that we feel very strongly about going forward. And I think as we roll through 2021 and start making more announcements on those developments, the market will really understand why we changed our name to an overall environmental company.
Right. I was going to say, I mean, with all the news coming out about the energy space, and you're seeing a big push into EV and wanting to be a lot more environmentally friendly when we're doing some natural resource extraction. What would you say makes your company unique and different in these efforts to try and accomplish some of these goals?
So a key difference from us and a lot of other folks is we are a proven commercially viable research and development technology company. We've created technologies that are at work today and have been for many years. We're a commercially viable firm in the energy research and development market. And so our expertise, as proven, should be able to move forward to a commercially viable option in these other new areas. And these other new areas offer tremendous opportunity. So you can look at us as a core company of mercury capture who's taken its technologies and know-how and applied them to these other areas that have tenfold or more potential in terms of economic value, both to the industry and to our shareholders.
Very good. And for those who may have missed that interview that we did all the way back then, what's your background? How did you come into all this?
I basically got involved in the mercury capture business back in the mid 2000s, 2006, where I was working, doing some research and development in the field, expecting that industry itself would actually come into its own and be a real operating industry under the regulations. And a few years later, basically 8 or 9 years later, that came to fruition. So about a decade of working in the research and development side prior to actually going commercial with ME2C in 2008, and then our first contract coming in 2011.
And then from what you can tell us, what would you say are some of the company's value catalysts now moving forward?
So the key point that we have right now is this IP monetization. We have literally dozens and dozens of boilers out there operating every day using our processes that we are now actively monetizing. So that should produce a significant uptick in our revenue base and our operating profits. And that core base of revenue is what's behind the new initiatives that will be driving us into these future areas of growth. So we're a very competent, underpinned technology company with a lot of growth opportunity in front of us that we're now starting to see some gains in. We're actually moving into full-scale field trials in the next quarter on our rare earth extraction technologies. We're extremely excited about that.
Well, with that, Rick, where can our audience go and find more information about ME2C Environmental?
Just the website carries it, pretty much everything we're up to. So MidwestEnergiesEmission.com, and pretty much that will keep everybody apprised of our developments.
Very good. Well, Rick, thank you so much for joining me today. I really do appreciate it. Good luck, stay safe, and I look forward to our next update.
Thank you, Robert. It's a pleasure as always.